I'd say I used to love her, but I still do. With one lottie-dottie, I wanted to be part of the party back in the day when I was 10, and to me, the BDP meant Boogie Down Productions. Not Bulela Ditsway, total control of governmental functions. She overpopulated my daydreams, crowding out all other thought. Her influence led my boys and me to value our windbreakers based upon their capacity to mimic, to be a DJ scratch. I etched love songs for her, left to right, across the pages of my notepad, imagining their delivery falling over top the boom bap. Now, I'm not one to fall head over heels. I'm skeptical of Moni love at first sight. But in a furious 5 minutes, I was carrying a cold crush, brothers and sisters.
He had me wondering why I got in this situation, considering I had a reputation for being as cold as an ice pea. I mean, this guy had me believing in a whole new religion. He was as original as tribal monks, as fresh as Tato, homegrown Zolo, more versatile than Fabi. Me wondering where he was from, you know, before the hype got bigger than the art form. Now, I admit, in the beginning, it took a minute to break me out of his shell. Still, I could tell he liked my laid-back demeanor, me taking it easy like a summer song. Boy had more attitude than Begone, so I decided it was on.
Somewhere in the valley between Laurel Hill and Cypress Hill, the roots of our attachment grew deep, so that even when black thoughts loomed and skies were Jean Grey, I could plainly Jay-Z that she was the undisputed queen bee of all 36 chambers of my heart. Woo! Dang! She was uncommon and most definitely beautiful. I was anxious in her presence, counting down the moments until our next kiss. 'Cause I never knew what love like this. We were sometimes naughty by nature, but never nasty. Nice. We would bust a move and bust a rhymes, but never rob bass. We would sit and sip iced tea chilled with ice cubes, sweetened with a little Sugar Hill, while hoovering a side of Biggie fries and puff pastry. All that served up Dougie fresh. Our bond set quickly, curing like a freshly paved concrete schoolyard amid summer's high heat. In a grandmaster flash, our love was 3 feet high and rising. And before I had a DJ clue what the scenario was, I was on a quest to become part of her tribe because she was so de la soulful. Like LL, when she was bad, she was good. When she was deaf, she was loud. And when she was butter, she was also yeast, giving rise to the voices, dreams, and frustration of a generation.
marks inflicted by his scratches upon my people. Most Sunday mornings we would chill, but on some days it got so bad his taste would shift to biri from lupini. Figured I should have been an all-seeing oracle, pre-visualized the squatter camps given how cashless the society already was. His humility blew my third mind away, throwing about African proverbs like he was double HP on augmented her. And his lines kept getting sweeter. He was fly like Siruvele Sele, and when they wickedly came and claimed the only way to be the man is if we sell, we win, he wasn't hearing none of that. In fact, he upped the volume like Dumi. That's when him, me, and T did it again. Confusion began, but cleared just as quickly, because earlier on we had cruised through the city, and he had prophesied how our love would set a new precedent. Though a few liabilities we might incur, in fact, once or twice I've been insecure. Doubted how he made me feel, me wondering if these words he's saying are for real. But ma, listen, his heartbeat proved premier. Taking away the worst kind of fear, and through the peephole of a 12 gauge we found a base where his word was weaponry. Some were envious, trying to number our days. Look, even though each time me and Abum Rapper fought, everybody got caught up in the situation. Some said Rumanganga, but what if Slim's right? Those are diamonds of the source of her feet, Razema. But regardless, for Ramanga Pamang he had no dough. To me, he was hot to death. I was ready to fall in love, and I didn't even realize it.
Forwarded from the past perceived perfect to the present seeming tense. I'm older now, more jadakist, perhaps disillusioned. You see, I thought that our love was part of one love, shared by a growing nation of millions, unwilling to stand back. I believed that if our vocab resisted, drawn out in drab prefab articulations, crassly commercial formulations, and trick pony posturing, we might change the world. We might change the world. Reverse arrested development, unite all dilated peoples with turntables and spray cans and breaks and beats and straight talk built from the wisdom of the streets up and not from parliaments and boardrooms down. And yet, to me, everywhere I look, I see the glorification of the iceberg slim mentality, the deification of thuggish, ruggish bone banality. All I see is small change, shallow change, chump change, check it. Our love has been shortchanged. And all we get is 50 cents back. And McDonald's, pushing checks to rappers who insert the words Big Mac in every third line of their next rhyme, proclaimed while pouring their signature liquor line over damn near naked, frolicking lovelies on a beach somewhere in the Kanye West Indies. Oh, come on. This is ludicrous. Whatever happened to without the elements? It's all irrelevant. Or is that sentiment some Jurassic 5 dinosaur relic?
I could tell he was educated. Perhaps not through textbooks with historical versions of us outdated. But he seemed so sure of himself. Took me on mental vacations to Joburg, Cape Flats. He was ghetto, J-Mecca, GC. So I hope now you see why I stayed. He taught me stuff I'd never read, spoke on stuff I'd never heard. In fact, he cast a spell over even the most adamant of critics. Every next line was on its own an activist mischievously pleading our case, defending our right to speak as we please, buy or lease us time to write and release new beats, redefined democracy. Just watching him, I could write an endless poem about this imagery I had involving a golden mic, but wait. With vocab as our sole defense, is that really sufficient ammunition against those who don't like that sometimes we actually sit and write, spend our days perusing through Greek mythology. Even as kids, we were pros at avoiding unnecessary apologies. It was our choice to stagger to a party and stay till 6 in the morning, making it clear whether or not we're on a mission to ignite tempers, you don't want to tempt us. Lurking in dark corners at night, throwing dice just because it felt nice. But he never forgot his purpose. Mad quick, he realized that his strength lies in us, the masses. So despite the fame and the beef, the baggy jeans and the crooks, the credit cards and Sid monies, our love grew. Regardless of how many unsold, underpriced CDs or us having to watch overly familiar faces on TV, local or foreign, he was for us. Media habitually misrepresenting our relationship as turbulent. Well, okay, maybe a bit. But he's all grown now and he remembers almost everything he ever learned. So I decided this was not a true reflection of us. It was the desperation of young nations in love with going on. We had to feed love. And like a cheerleader in an attempt to leave the rest perplexed, I would forever hold his hand and chant, my people rock, rock on.
I stand here vexed, but nevertheless, like a born-again mace, I still profess faith, Evans. Because love will make you do crazy things, and I just can't leave her now. Why, Clef, you ask? Because my first love taught me that even when the bridge is over, the babika goes on. The babika goes on, the babika goes on, the babika goes on, free to fall on the ears of a young MC who might get the message and grow to speak with Talib-like quality. What a blessing that would be. So that's the story of the love shared between me and she. How it all got started and continues to be. We've seen good times and bad times and maddening ones too. But I can't say I used to love her, 'cause I still do.